Hey, Peace and Harmony here with you today. Narcissistic love bombing, what does it look like? A lot of women feel that they want to immediately approach a guy with a sexual lead or sexual intent. That this comes before friendship, that the attraction, the physical attraction, oh yes, it has to be there, but that this has to enter into the relationship before any sort of content or structure or friendship has formed. And yes, there's the one-night stands, there's the sexual outlets that can take place. Yet, and this can all be in good fun, don't get me wrong there. But what I'm talking about is when, in your authentic self, when you generally want a true and loving relationship, when you want something for the long run, you want something that's hot, where you can be passionate, enthusiastic, and yet still have a foundation of okayness and stability within yourself, where there's not a lot of chaos in the relationship, there isn't a lot of arguing, there isn't a lot of struggle. This stuff has already been released, or it's already been resolved in your life, so you're not bringing that into the relationship. Well, when a narcissist enters the picture and the love bombing begins, that is when the knight in shining armor comes and sweeps her off her feet. It is, and it can go both ways, as a woman also, where she love bombs the guy, but for this example, we're going to give the example of the guy. Chances are, dressed very well, charming, intelligent, says great things, gives you, a slight touch, a slight smile at the same time. Immediately you feel comfortable with this person. Immediately feeling comfortable with someone is an okay thing, but not when the world today is hectic and it's filled with people who don't always have your best intention in mind. So I guess, in the name, sometimes before we've called it machismo, the man's man, the bad boy, all these different archetypes, all these types, you know what I'm talking about. The guy with the motorcycle, the boots, the leather chaps, the vest, the cigarette hanging out of his mouth, and, starts flirting with you, is flirtatious, wants to have fun, wants to go drinking, wants to take you out on his bike. The other kind of guy, hot car, wants to take you driving, wants to take you out for drinks, wants you to pull around back and start making out. These can be all, there's a time and a place for all this fun to be had, and I'm not suggesting that you don't have, recreational fun, outlet-based relationships. That is all well and good. But I'm talking about the relationship where it becomes destructive, and when this person is now crossing the line and taking advantage of you, and you're just not happy, but yet you're putting up with it. The love bombing can glaze over you and create a sort of a fog or a dismantling of your senses if you're not prepared for it. So if you are looking at this video on this channel, chances are you know exactly what I'm talking about. Someone who came in and essentially swept you off your feet. Yes, it's okay to fall in love, but what I'm trying to look at here is a specific manner in which it's done, so you can identify it in the future, know what you can accept and get involved with, so you're not repeating the same cycle over and over. That's the whole goal of this channel and of these videos, is so you can establish some of these healthy boundaries and you have a knowledge of people. Who to trust, who to let in, who not to trust, who not to let in. And to do a little bit of due diligence on people before you just throw yourself in the sack with them. Love bombing can take the shape, it takes many shapes. Let's look at the physical touch, where they automatically touch you in a flirtatious way. You accept it as very comforting, and maybe you've been looking for this, maybe you've been needing this, maybe there's a void in your life, and you're letting this guy come on too strong. And you find that this guy, is really hitting it off with you, and he begins talking, you like what you're hearing, you like what he's saying, you find out this guy has a past, or, maybe he's sharing certain things with you that make you feel for him. This guy has some wounds, and you're now connecting with his wounds, and you as the nurturing female Well, here comes your role. You've just, you've just taken on a job. You've just filled out the job application. You are now signed up. You're like, I can do this. I can take care of this guy. And you are, you are giving up your social security number and your credit card information because you're ready for a direct deposit. You're ready. You're giving up your banking information. You're onto this guy. Oh, click. You guys are fitting together like two perfect pieces of, two perfect puzzle pieces together. You're like, this guy's perfect for me. But he's connecting with that wounded part of you that needs to take care of somebody. And you think that, if you can take care of somebody, that you're going to be taken care of. Yet we've learned time and time again that this is not how you're taken care of. You need to have a greater sense of independence and government, so that you're not in a situation where you're allowing yourself to be overtaken by such things as love bombing, especially as you get older and more mature and you want something more real and genuine, and you don't want to just play that party train anymore. Yes, and I'm not trying to be, superficial, and I'm not trying to say, that you can't have these type of relationships, but I'm talking to the point when you're exploited, when your life is being derailed and you're in extreme situations. So I want you to kind of see the measures leading up to it so you can begin to change your behavior. So I think that's the ultimate goal here and the ultimate tool that we can share with you. The whispering of sweet nothings, telling you what you want to hear. Touching your hair, you're suddenly surprised that he's touching you behind your neck, the small of your back. There's certain inappropriate places that a guy should not touch you, yet the narcissist who is targeting you, he is going to try these places out on your body to see how you respond. And if you let him in, well, you're essentially an easy catch, and you're essentially, like a country with no boundaries. He's just going to conquer you and divide you, and leave you, raped and pillaged, basically. Just to use kind of a silly political analogy, but I think that's an effective way to look at it, because the love bombing is to bomb you, and it's to give you that loss of your senses and loss of control and loss of your own personal vision for what you want in your life. Suddenly everything is turned upside down and you're going head over heels for this guy, flipping circles, the hormones are running wild, and it's so, very gratifying on a romantic level. Very charming, very romantic, guy's guy, ladies man, type of guy who, is going to open doors, wants to fill your gas tank. I mean, come on, guys. You don't need a guy to fill your gas tank, but these are the sorts of steps that they begin to take. They might want to take over your bills for you, or they might want to help you with things around the house. Yes, again, moderation is key, and in some situations it's okay. But when I'm talking when it leads to an abuse of power, and then they're now, using it in a jar against you, and they're saying, well, I was here for you this, I rebuilt your deck here, I did your roof, and then they're using it against you, which is not how relationships work. The reciprocity shouldn't be, giving somebody some attention so you can use it as ammunition against them later. So this is really definitely something to identify. Sorry about that. Definitely something to identify in the love bombing. Also, not addressing you by your name, calling you baby right away, calling you by nicknames. Yes, again, they're cute. They're part of a real, genuine, loving relationship. But again, once it's used to the devaluation of yourself as your identity, and your personhood, your womanhood, they're not calling you by your first name. They're not giving you that respect. I think is what I'm trying to get to, is that they're not addressing you by your name. They're not looking at, they're sizing you up right now. That's essentially what the love bombing is doing. It's getting you to lose your senses, and you're getting caught up into a cycle, eventually, of just being played and manipulated by them, and eventually exploited, and learning all sorts of other information that you did not want to learn by them. So what I'm suggesting is, don't be naive to how these people work in life, because I think, there's more and more situations where one can be made vulnerable. And the predator is just loving it with the internet dating, and the Tinder and, the Match.coms and these other affair websites, where they can just literally have a feast. And, as you know, the rape and pillage, it leaves everything, torn upside down and you upside down and empty. So it's just looking at really some of the tools that the narcissist uses, and to identify this, and do not fall into that trap, because they would love to keep you in that love bomb, satchel. They would love to keep you, there, and then whenever they need it, they're ready to love bomb you again. In fact, the narcissist is always laughing when their jokes work. When their tools work. They literally think, and you must know this by now if you've worked and studying narcissists, that they really devalue their victims, and they think how stupid they are for falling for this. And then they end up having the attitude like that they didn't do anything wrong, and only somebody stupid and gullible would fall for this, and they deserve it. So you don't want to be in that category. It's no place to be. It's time to mature and grow up, and you deserve more for yourself. So that's a little bit about love bombing. Of course, the sexual extremes. Be careful of that. Be a strong woman and learn to establish some boundaries and some worth and value to what you offer a guy. And I think you'll find it to be a little bit more romantic and hot when you can hold him back a little bit and show him that you're the one in control. Every strong woman needs and deserves to be in control and be treated with love and respect. Reciprocity. Respect, having a higher level of standard for yourself. Have the higher standard, and then the higher standard guy will show up. Lower your standards and permit the bad boy to take you over. You're going to still keep getting the same thing. So let's work on raising those standards, getting what you deserve, the true love and happiness and peace and harmony you deserve, and all the great things that come with it. Peace and Harmony, signing out. Please subscribe for more great videos, tools, and discussions. Take care. Have a beautiful day.